XRP family, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. First and foremost, just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for all your support. It's absolutely amazing. Again, continue supporting, and your boy Crypto ZX got you covered on these daily updates. But let's take a look at what's happening. The day of the FOMC meeting, looking across the board as far as the 24-hour time frame is concerned, we're seeing a retracement leading into the FOMC meeting, as we are expecting on the channel, of course, to see some choppiness leading up to obviously the day of the FOMC meeting. And tomorrow, of course, is even a bigger day, in my opinion, and that is the meeting between China and the US. But if you're looking across the board here, you guys can see for yourself, we are seeing a few handful coins that are up, but majority of the coins are down right now. But let's not forget the last 1 week time frame. You're seeing a lot of coins up, XRP included, up about 10% right now. So the price of XRP, $2.63. It's down only about 0.6% on the USD side of things. On the Bitcoin side of things, we're up about 0.1%. Valuation $158 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 5 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. Take a look at this. FOMC decision at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by Powell's press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, remember, in terms of, the probability, there's a high chance that, we do see a 25 BPS rate cut happening. So again, we'll see what happens, but let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are on that. But let's take a look at this. This right here is the exciting stuff. It excites me, and it gives me a little bit of a better understanding as to, what to be looking out for, when the XRP ETF goes live. Take a look at this. Bitwise recorded $55 million in trading volume on its Solana staking ETF debut, the highest first day volume of any crypto ETF launched in 2025. There we have it. And again, we need to understand that institutional demand is driving this cycle, in my opinion. And even with the ETF inflows, I think it's institutional demand. Hedge funds, insurance companies, private equity companies, these are the players that are going to come in, and the big capital is going to flow in because, again, they don't have to worry about self custody. This is, the beautiful part of ETFs. So again, Bitwise, shout out to the Solana family as always. I know, again, some people are not understand. Why is XRP not getting it first? No, it's not. That's not how it works. You got to give credit where it belongs. Solana got it first. It is what it is. But I think it's imminent because there's a lot of other dates coming up now, and I think XRP ETF is gonna go live much earlier than a lot of people are expecting, especially after this announcement that we heard, of course, for Solana, HBAR, and Litecoin ETFs that went live just yesterday. So very, very interesting stuff here. We'll obviously now look to see when the XRP spot ETF goes live. We want to see whether or not that can break, the current record of 2025, which of course is $55 million that Solana has set. So we'll see what happens. But take a look at this. Germany, the largest economy in Europe, eyes strategic Bitcoin reserve. Following France, Germany's FDP is pushing for a national Bitcoin reserve, signaling growing sovereign interest in crypto. Europe could be slowly moving towards Bitcoin and strategic reserve. Very, very bullish announcement right here. But take a look at this. This is very interesting. The S&P 500 closed higher today and broke above 6,900 for the first time in history. Yet a whopping 398 components in the S&P 500, closed not on the green side of things. This means 80% of S&P companies closed red, yet the index still closed green. So what does this mean? Big tech is everything, meaning the bigger stocks are pretty much, carrying the S&P 500, index, which again, also should make you guys realize it from a different perspective. Yes, S&P is going up, NASDAQ obviously is going up, but what is making these indexes really going up? The bigger players pretty much make a huge chunk of the S&P 500. In this case, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So again, these stocks, now if you're looking at their performance, they actually been doing quite well. So again, explains what, but again, if we were to see a interest rate cut, does this mean other stocks are going to also follow? And are we going to see S&P 500 push even higher to some of these predictions that, a lot of these analysts are making? We'll see what happens, but again, a good thing to be kind of looking forward, and, looking closely to is pretty much what I'm trying to get at. But take a look at the shout out to Quentin, of course. Quentin says, addresses with more than 100 Bitcoin are going vertical. Smart money is buying aggressively, and that is so true. Bitcoin is being accumulated heavily by the bigger players now. And sorry, still under the weather, believe it or not. But yeah, if you're looking at the long term accumulation from the bigger players, they are accumulating faster and faster. And again, when you talk about these types of players, it is institutions mainly. And again, going back to what I said, this run that we have seen right now, it is institutional driven. But yeah, this is very interesting to see. Again, I'm sure these people are in for the long haul. They understand Bitcoin is a long-term hold. It's an asset that is here to stay, and you can see they are buying very aggressively. And again, it kind of ties back to what I said. Bigger players are coming on board, and we need to be looking closely to this. But Ripple-backed Evernorth staking 1 billion in XRP before its Nasdaq debut. Next big move for XRP. Let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are on that. Real world assets on the XRP ledger up 215% on the quarter, totals $364.2 million. Absolutely insane numbers here. Again, on-chain numbers speak for themselves, but take a look at what Arthur says. XRP exchange reserve on Binance. Reserves just dropped to 2.74 billion XRP, one of the lowest levels in over a year. People are taking their XRP off exchanges to hold it. Smart money accumulates quietly. The next liquidity shock might not be on the chart just yet. So again, very interesting take here. Pretty much looking at the exchange reserves, and talking about the largest exchange in the world, which is Binance. And people are removing their XRP off of the exchanges, which is a very good sign, because obviously usually when you do tend to see this happening, it's people that are accumulating for the long haul. They rather keep their XRP in their wallets. And again, that is something I would strongly emphasize as well. If you're in it for the long haul, take your coins off of exchange, whether it's XRP, Solana, whatever the case may be, self custody yourself. Very, very interesting to kind of keep in mind. But take a look at this. XRP Australia 2026 Wave of Innovation is proud to partner with XRPL Japan for XRP Australia Sydney 2026. The strategic alliance strengthens our shared mission to accelerate XRP ecosystem growth and foster blockchain innovation through Asia Pacific region. Very, very good stuff happening. But let's take a look at what's happening with the price now. So as far as the price is concerned, dominance yesterday actually wicked up to 60% once again, but we did pull down. And you can see we started to see the dominance pick up again, but again, it's pulling down right now, which is a nice thing to see. Bitcoin, on the other hand, let's give it a refresh live as we are going into the FOMC meeting. Bitcoin is picking up steam right now. Again, Bitcoin is something that you guys want to be paying attention to as well. Bitcoin was sitting at $116,000, came down to 112, saw a bounce from there, and we did come up to 113,700 just a few hours back, but got rejected just below the confirmation. I'm sorry, not the confirmation, just below the 114,000 key resistance. But again, we'll see what happens. But Bitcoin is not looking bad in a grand scheme of things. But let's take a look at what's happening with XRP right now. XRP is obviously accumulating, but very interesting thing to kind of keep in mind is how XRP kind of accumulated within this range. Yes, it came down to $2.56, which of course was due to Bitcoin going down to 112, but very short lived. We picked up back about 3% since then, and pretty much back to where we were in this consolidation phase. But look at it for yourself once again. Your boy Crypto ZX has been mentioning the $2.70, and that's the exact level we're having a hard time breaking out of. You can see for yourself, $2.70 continues to be a very key level to be watching out for. XRP breaking above here, I think, takes us back into the 23.6 much quicker than a lot of people are realizing. But thank you for all your support. It means the world to me. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and also follow me on X. Love you all. See you later in Crypto ZX and peace.